Hey there guys, what's going on? So, I debated with myself in the order that I wanted to put the videos that I talked about in my week in preview video. Go watch it if you haven't yet. The order that I wanted to put them in this week to talk about them based on what was really kind of tickling my ear, kind of bending, my mind and what I was thinking of. But kind of it just ended up coming to the point where I really wanted to bump this up because of how important it is and how much that I'm really just such a huge fan of this and how much I really want to unbox this record and get to talk about it a little bit. So let's get right into it now. Enough of this this intro stuff. Let's get right into talking about this. Again, super excited. Let's get into talking about Ryan Adams with Love Is Hell. Now, to give you some of the backstory, Love Is Hell came out in 2003. It was actually the record proper that Ryan wanted to release. That Lost Highway was unfortunately very difficult about, as they were often difficult with Ryan and his strange and dementedly creative processes over the years, and that's what eventually led to the snarky "This Is Bad on Purpose" rock and roll album, and those things in between. But eventually, Love Is Hell came out in 2 parts over the span of, I'm not really sure the amount of time, but eventually came out in 2 parts and eventually was united at a point later on. I'm not sure if the vinyl parts exist from part 1 and part 2 or what that's all like, but I'm sure that's quite rare, because for whatever reason this was just the one that kind of went out of print first. To this day and to this point, you can still get a lot of Ryan's back material with his great, unbelievable, in fact, year of 2005. Those 3 records, 29, Cold Roses, and Jacksonville City Nights, all still readily available through the pressings made available by the now righteously defunct Lost Highway Records. You can still snap up Ryan's later and less people would argue about consistency with his year of 2005 and that it was overdoing it. But I think it was even less consistency later on when Cardnology and Easy Tiger showed up, and I think that that showed a lot more inconsistency than 2005, which was really quite brilliant. But Love Is Hell, for whatever reason, to actually get back to the matter at hand here, was just one that kind of fell through the cracks and really just didn't make it back to print for a very long time. And yeah, it's a travesty because it is one of Ryan's great records. It is quite unbelievable that a label would challenge a record of this this just sheer quality and brilliance. Although of course it is ungodly depressing and ungodly dark in so many ways. But for that, and for so much of Ryan's ungodly dark and ungodly depressing work, it is probably some of his best and most acutely, painfully perfect. It hadn't been in print for a long time. Then within this last span of a year or so, rumor began to come around that Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab, as you'll see across the top here and in a few other things, namely the discs and the pressings for this, we're going to go back through their archives, and they go back through things, and they have such a reputation and such a great standing as purveyors of great vinyl reissues and pressings, just sheer quality, expensive, but for a great quality, great reputation, it's all worth it. It's so worth it to acquire something like this. So it eventually came to the point where they were saying, okay, they're going to pick up Love Is Hell. They're the original masters, everything. They're going to do it up spiffy as could be, and this is what's eventually coming out. And actually, as I said in my weekend preview video, originally, even though this is the one really glaring Ryan record that was missing from my collection, it wasn't one I was going to originally get or acquire. Because it was a little bit more on the expensive side, and even I, for all of my vinyl hounding and whoring on this channel, do have a limit to what I usually like to spend with that kind of thing. But someone really, really special and really, really important gifted this to me for my birthday, actually, while I was on hiatus. So not only have I gotten to enjoy that, but I knew when I came back and started doing videos again, I really wanted to get to share this because of just how tremendous it is now that it's finally out in the world. This is also hand numbered to go back to the Record Store Day video that I did just prior to this one, where I talked about some of the hand numbered stuff. 2506 out of 3000. This is the cover, of course. The quality is absolutely gorgeous. It is such a gloomy record to listen to, but it is beautiful. It is beautifully put together. And the inside packaging, it kind of comes straight off like that. You get a little insulation there on the top, and inside here you get this great lyric book, big, nice quality here. Some pictures, really clear lyrics, just well printed out, nice and easy to read. Really exceptional management appreciations, Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab. These guys get the reputation for a reason. This stuff is absolutely beautiful. Just so well done, so well put together. The breakdowns of songs on the sides, rarely more than 4, which is usually right where you want to be. The first side has 5, but tremendous sound. And this is basically what you'll see throughout. I won't go through each of the LPs. All what is it? 4? I think it's 4 LPs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, wait, hold on. Now I have to know. 1, 2. Yeah, it's 3 LPs. Okay, yes, 3 LPs. All pretty much looking like this with the Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab sticker, the little insignia across the top, with your songs on each side. Very nice quality. There is some controversy. Some Ryan Adams fans related. I can't even speak. There is some controversy relating to Ryan Adams fans in regards to the fact that because these are the original masters of Love Is Hell, it has been pointed out that at some point between the original masters being put together and when they were finally put to tape and released and all that, there was a very small but noticeable alteration made to the song The Shadowlands. The solo is noticeably changed, and it took a little bit of digging around online to find out why that was, and it was just a little bit of a seemingly, I mean not from Ryan himself, just to find out why this would be, just sort of a last-second adjustment he made before the record went live or went to be pressed or put out there and all that, which seems like a very Ryan thing to do. I certainly miss that side of his character sometimes with his later releases, although Ashes and Fire is a pretty good return album for him, and also readily available, by the way. But this record, to give you just a breakdown of some of the highlights, has the great Afraid Not Scared. It has the Beetlejuice influenced, which sounds much better than it might on paper, or just me saying that. This House Is Not For Sale, great acoustic tune. Anybody Want to Take Me Home, which is just about as much Ryan influenced by Morrissey and the Smiths as is humanly possible. This one has actually changed a little bit as well because it doesn't have the long extended solo between the two, but I don't remember if that was a rock and roll thing or if that was just the alternate long cut that they released, but I do like the longer solo when that plays. Side 2 has a really beautiful cover of Wonderwall. And yeah, you would immediately scoff to say, oh, somebody else doing a cover of Wonderwall, like they're, somebody's, 10th wedding band or something like that. This is a really beautiful, just brilliantly reinterpreted version of Wonderwall that so aptly fits the tone and the density and the gloom of this record that Even Oasis themselves, I don't remember if it was, I think it might have been Noel Gallagher, had even said at some point that it was like his favorite version of the song, including their own. So that really says something about the quality of that cut and that recording. The Shadowlands, which is a little bit different without the solo, the really identifiable solo. I don't know if I like it quite as much because there's just something to the way that solo like just rips on the second part and just like extends like off into the heavens and just like, oh, it just gives you the chills. It kind of changes it a little bit, so I don't know if I like that one as much. But the Shadowlands, really just a beautiful track. Please Do Not Let Me Go. I See Monsters, which turned into a hell of a live jam for them a few years later when Ryan was with the Cardinals. But really works in the stripped down, kind of a dank and dusty corner kind of a setting in this instance. The Great English Girls Approximately, allegedly about Beth Orton. Very Dylan-esque, another approach that Ryan got and kind of made into Dylan territory. And it closes with Hotel Chelsea Nights, which some people go back and forth on because some don't like the immediately like Prince, like Purple Rain sound of it. But I think it's a great closer, hell of a song, and kind of a great, just a great rock track. I don't know if I ever really got to hear a great live version of it, but I always liked how it sounded on the record. And with this, this is actually the first time that the Love Is Hell bonus tracks were actually put on, pressed to wax and put on vinyl for the first time with this particular pressing. So you get you get 7 new bonus tracks that were not previously on vinyl. Of course, they're available digitally. They're not new in that sense, but they are available now on the vinyl side of it, which is really cool. Father Son, Halloween, Caterwaul, Black Clouds, really good selections there. So maybe for the bonus songs, song or two, you might hear a couple of those because that's pretty special that those are on on vinyl now. So if you get a chance and you got a little extra pocket change, you're a big Ryan fan, do yourself a favor and go out and get yourself one of these. After 3,000, I don't know if they are going to do any more of them. So once they're out there, I think once they're gone, they're gone. So definitely, if you get a chance, acquire it. You will not regret it in the slightest. But that is it for me in this particular video on my little vinyl unboxing for Ryan Adams with Love Is Hell. If somebody maybe would be interested, I don't know if anybody would be interested in having a review of that, but maybe that's a possibility. There's a lot of other stuff at the moment, but if anything, I wanted to get it unboxed, and I'm really glad that I was able to do that, and I'll probably put a couple of bonus songs along with it, so be sure to tune in and keep an eye out for those. Because that's just a great ending to a great encompassing of getting to talk about this record. But thank you guys for watching, for tuning in. Please subscribe, leave comments, follow along, get involved. It's always, fun when there's more people hopping aboard the train of randomness and fun music stuff and more of the things that I've got coming. Click the ads if you're feeling generous to my silly, dopey face, or if you just want to, throw fruit at me or yell obscenities. I'm good with that too. So, meet me back here for the next video, which shouldn't be too long in coming, and I hope you enjoyed what you saw here today. Comment, subscribe, all of the above. Taking the world by storm in 2014, guys. Thank you again for watching.